Hello, I am Glenyce Hughes, and today we're going to talk about creating your own business reality. So, what exactly does that mean, your own business reality? Well, here's the thing. For the most part, what we're doing is we're living by somebody else's or a whole bunch of people's realities with regards to our businesses, which means we have the same points of views, we have the same experiences. A lot of business right now with COVID going on, there's all sorts of difficulties and people closing down and less money and problems and staff and that is one way. That is a reality that you could choose. Yeah. What I'm inviting you to is a whole different possibility, which means you actually could choose. Like, what do you know is true for you with business? Not what have you been choosing, because it's probably going to be different, my sweet friends, but what do you know to be true for you? Yeah. Is your business reality that business is ease? Business is fun? Yeah, like what is yours? And so here's the thing, it's really about you getting a sense of what it is for you and then continuously choosing towards that. So I started my business back in 2002. So at the time of this airing, in fact, next month, so September of 2020, I will have been in this business for 18 years. I mean, honestly, that just blows my mind. And the way that I used to be in business is drastically different than the way it is now. Because the way it is now is all about possibilities and expansion and wealth and space and creation and all of this yumminess that back in 2002 and for many years, that wasn't what I was really choosing. I mean, I had bits and pieces of that, don't get me wrong, but I didn't have it to the way I'm willing to choose it now. So this is the thing, my sweet friends. This is where you want to be really aware of what are you actually choosing. Because if you would like your reality with business to be ease and joy and fun and possibilities and creating a difference on the planet and whatever else that might be there for you, it's really about you choosing towards that and acknowledging when you're not. So when you're choosing drama trauma, you're not. You're not choosing towards the yumminess, the reality that you know is possible for the business. Now, it's not about judging yourself in that moment. Nope. It's never about judging yourself in that moment. What it's about then is you choosing towards what you would like. You acknowledging, oh wow, okay, I'm choosing drama trauma right now. I'm choosing problem. I'm choosing whatever it is. What other choice could I make right now? So everything all of this conversation brings up for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all and return it to sender with consciousness? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So that is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. If you're not familiar with what it is, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and there's all sorts of videos and information about how it works. Basically, it's like a magic wand. So when we talk about something like this that maybe brings up some points of views like, well, no, business is hard right now, or you don't get it, or, you know, where you're defending against or you're defending for, there's all like that energy. We just get to clear it. We take this magic wand and we clear that energy so something else is possible. Yeah. Because obviously if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you are willing to change it. You are willing to create your own reality in business. Yeah. And if you have the awareness that business can be ease and joy and fun and prosperous and change the world and all the things. What it means is that is your reality, because there's people on the planet, there's situations, there's all the things that for some, it's a no, that's not even in their world. So in a sense, I think there's a quote, if you can dream it, you can become it. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but if you have the energy of it, it's your reality. In this case, now we also have the energy, I'm sure, of drama, trauma, and problems and all of that. Doesn't mean it's yours. It just means that possibly you've bought into it and you've been buying and selling it over and over and over and made it really real. Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what is possible now that has never been possible before with the business? When you get a sense of the business, now maybe you don't even have one started yet, maybe you're just daydreaming about one, or you're aware of one that's asking to be created. It doesn't really matter, but if you have that sense, what you can start asking is like, okay, so business, commune with it. Business, what would you like to be on the planet? Business, what is possible for us that I've never, ever, ever known was possible? Yeah, where you just start getting curious and you start opening and you start communing with the business. Yes, and I say it like that because I actually have a masterclass on communing with the business coming up. It's something that I talk about all the time. This is one of the most magical capacities that we be, is that we can commune with anything. And once I started communing with my business, it was a game changer, because I had the most brilliant, aware, spacious, possibility-filled business partner sitting right with me every day, all day long. It's the business. I just had to be willing to ask the questions and to receive the information back. And so that's what communing is basically communing, not communicating, but communing. And so depending on when you're listening to this, it's going to be on Saturday, which is August 15th, I believe. My goodness, I don't remember for sure, but message me or send me an email and I can help you. I can get you the link. And if you're listening later, of course, all the downloads are available and you can catch it after. So that's what communing with the business. It's communicating, it's gifting and receiving with the business, letting the business make choices based on what it's asking for, rather than you deciding what should happen or shouldn't happen, no longer being the bossy bosserson. Yeah, so when we're looking at creating our reality with business, it's like all of those energies, and so many more that I didn't give words to, and there's going to even be energies you're aware of with your reality with business that don't even have words. Yeah, so anywhere you've decided it's only definable, you have to have words for it, we just destroy and uncreate all that, return it to sender with consciousness. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what this becomes then is you get to choose. So let's stick with business is ease, okay? Let's just stick with that one. And you might have only perceived that for 10 seconds. It doesn't mean that you live it and that's the only way it's your reality. You might have perceived it for 10 seconds and you know that it's a possibility. So then you start again becoming really present and really aware of when you're not choosing ease in business. And then what is that? What is that? You get really curious about it so that you can clear it. So there's a difference, at least to me, there's a difference between getting clear about something and figuring it out. The difference is getting clear on it is actually utilizing your awareness. Whew. Yeah, and figuring it out uses your mind. And guess what, my friends? Your mind is not a kind friend to you. So everywhere you've tried to figure it out rather than get the awareness of, will you destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And so then, let's say you have the awareness that you're not choosing ease in business in this one situation because it would be so different. You wouldn't be doing business right if you had ease with this thing. Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I know. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous, and I've done this so many times, guys. This is truly how I process myself. I don't just share this like, you should go do this. This is how I process myself when something like this is going on and I'm not choosing it. Pardon me. What is this? What is this? A lot of times it's to fit in. A lot of times it's to be like others. I spent so much of my time, and possibly many of you also, spent so much of my time trying to fit in, trying to do it right, trying to be liked, trying to not be different. I mean, there was so much value put on being one of the crowd that was my main focus constantly growing up. And even as I got older, it wasn't really until I started studying the tools from Access Consciousness. I mean, maybe a little bit in other modalities I did, but really with Access Consciousness, where it's like, wow, me as me is a phenomenal gift. Me trying to be like others is really just a mess. Like, honestly, it's just a freaking mess. So be aware that the craziest of the crazy can come up when you're asking, what is this? What we don't want to do is make a story out of it. We don't want to go, oh my gosh, it's because I want to fit in, and it's because my dad said this, and it's because my sister did this, and it's like, now you can have those awarenesses, of course, but what I mean is that when you go into the story, and they shouldn't have, and they were wrong, and like that sort of stuff, that's where you want to just kind of like step back, let it be, so that you just know, okay, cool, I'm trying to fit in with choosing this dis-ease right now. Does that work? Nuh-uh. If I'm going to live my reality with business, if I'm creating and choosing my reality with business, I'm choosing ease. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I feel like an orchestra conductor. And so it becomes like that, where there's just this space of like, wow, I have another choice here. And then what occurs, at least it does for me, is that when I'm not being my reality with business, it gets so loud in my world. Like so loud. One, because I'm willing to have my reality. I'm willing to know what's true for me. I'm willing to know what's possible for me. And two, all the rest is lies. And lies are heavy, guys. They feel really icky and heavy. And so when I feel that now, it's like, no, what's it going to take to change this? And it's just usually identifying, okay, what is this? What's going on? All right, clear it, change it. Now I can choose ease in business. So I'm using the word choose very specifically on purpose, my sweet friends. And that is because what happens is that we often act like we're a victim. We may not use that word, but we often act like we're a victim, and we'll say, I just can't deal with that one staff I have, or I just can't handle that, the problems in that software I'm using or something, which you may not kind of notice, but it is very much a victim statement. And I always, in classes and stuff, if the energy is there, I will often get the person to rephrase it to what is actually true. Such as, I won't have a conversation with that staff. So let's say they're saying to me, that staff is really hard to deal with and I can't handle them. No, sorry. That staff is really hard to deal with. Let's just leave it there. And so then, I will ask them to rephrase it to what's true. I'm choosing them to be difficult to deal with. I would like them to be difficult to deal with. I've decided they are, like, whatever matches the energy. Not to make that person feel bad about themselves, but so that they can actually acknowledge what is. Because when we make victim statements and we don't acknowledge it as such, we take it on as true, and we start making ourselves less and less and less and less, as though we have no choice in the situation. Whereas if there's somebody that you're having a difficult time communicating with or dealing with, or however you want to put it, you're choosing that too. So, we want to call it like it is, like, okay, I'm choosing to have difficulties with that staff. Wow, there's some lightness there. Why? Because it's true. Now, from that creator energy, you can actually change it. But when you're playing the victim, you actually can't. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I know, guys. I mean, really, it's mind-blowing. At least, again, I look at myself when I started 18 years ago, and even 10 years ago, and probably even 15, hell, even 10 seconds ago. There's so much more awareness now. There's so much more willingness to choose my reality in business. And one of the questions that I would suggest that you ask every day, I continue to ask this in all sorts of ways: universe, show me my reality in business. Yeah. Universe, show me my reality in business. Now, again, you can take this in many different areas. Universe, show me my reality with money. Universe, show me my reality with healing. Like, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but just ask and ask and ask, because what you'll start becoming aware of is what's true for you, not what this reality has told us. Business is hard, you have to suffer, you have to hate what you're doing, you have to work really hard, you have to. Ugh. What if we don't have to, friends? Like, what if so much more is possible? Now, does that mean that you won't ever have a staff that is harder to deal with, or something that you need to deal with that maybe you don't really like dealing with, or that your entire business will be just like a bed of roses all the time? Probably not, my friends. But what happens is you will be able to handle it all. Whew. Yes, you will be able to handle it all. Which means it is then ease, because you're like, okay, cool. So this staff isn't, let's say they're not doing what they said they would do. Okay, so what's required? Oh, I'll just give them a call and we'll talk about it. Or, I'll send them an email and just check in, see what's going on with them. Or rather than oh my gosh, they're not doing it, and I bet it's because they're mad at me, and they're probably mad at me because of blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to phone so-and-so, and I'm going to tell them that, like, I'm sure I'm the only one out there that has been this way. And I don't mean just business, I mean life, because that dis-ease has been way more powerful, has been way more valuable. There's something to telling those stories to people, to our friends, like, oh, so-and-so did this, and then they said this, and I'm mad at them because of this, and believe me, friends, I spent way too many years choosing that insanity. And that is not my reality, which means every time I chose that, I felt like ick after. And I did it so much that I actually thought ick was normal. And again, I'm not talking just business. This was every area of my life and living. And I'm so grateful that I had the awareness, and I'm so grateful that I have chose it. And I'm so grateful that I knew I had another choice. And even in those moments where I want to say, oh, and this person, I can be like, what the fuck? Who am I being here? Right, wrong, good, bad, all mine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what is your reality with business? What is your business asking to be on the planet? If you look at the things that you struggle with in the business, is your business asking for that? No, I didn't think so. No, businesses usually are asking, I'm just going to say from my experience, and I work with a lot of people's businesses, I have yet to meet a business that is asking for pain and suffering and dis-ease and drama and trauma. And I'm not saying they're maybe not out that, that's just not the ones I play with. So your business is very likely asking for something different. So if you're willing to gift and receive with your business, oh my gosh, what else might be possible, guys? Like truly, you have the most potent business partner on the planet, well, in the universe, with you all the time. Are you willing to receive from it and gift to it? So gifting and receiving is a very different energy than giving and taking. Giving and taking is giving and taking. I give you this and you take this, or no, I give you this and I take from you, and you give me and I take, like that sort of an energy. Whereas gifting and receiving is, we don't know who the gifter is and who the receiver is. If you've ever given somebody a gift that they were so thrilled with, and you were so thrilled with how much they were thrilled with it, that's gifting and receiving, because you received from their receiving. Them receiving the gift and just being so grateful and so thrilled, gifted to you. So this is where I say, we don't know who the gifter and the receiver is. Yeah, imagine choosing and creating that with your business, with the most potent business partner on the planet, because your business has asks of its own. Your business has desires of its own. Your business has dreams of its own. So you have some and it has some, and together you can co-create them beyond what you've never imagined possible. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, PUD PUCK, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. And even if you wanted to use like a notebook or something and start jotting down, that one time in business, or those rare times in business where business was so much fun and business was really easy, or that time, I remember this one time, guys, this was, oh my gosh, what year would have it been? Maybe 2010, something like that. So I'd been in business a number of years. I knew that there was a program, I think this was December or January of that year, and I knew there was a program, and the way that I worded is like knocking on my door. There was a program knocking on my door for me to create. And so I booked an entire day off. It's such a funny process now. I do not do it like this anymore, but back then I had the point of view I needed lots of time. So I booked an entire day off to basically receive this program and get all the pieces written out. And so I went into what I called my healing room. That was what my business used to be called, the healing room, because when I started, it was in person only, and I was doing like Reiki and stuff, and I had a healing room. So people came for their session and we went into the healing room. So my business was called the healing room until a few years ago, and I changed it to Glenyce Hughes International Inc. because I incorporated. But anyway, so I went into my healing room with my pen and my paper and my coffee and my candle and all the things, and was going to like, hey, I will come out hours later when this is complete. I sat down, I closed my eyes, and in 5 minutes, I had the entire program like downloaded out on the piece. Like it was like, I still remember that like absolute shock of what? And then I had the rest of the day to create all the pieces, because back then I didn't have anybody assisting me with that sort of stuff, but it was so freaking cool. And I have always tapped into that energy, like remembering that energy, to remind myself that I actually commune with business really ease. I commune with creations really ease. It's really, really, really ease for me. So when I don't feel like that, I can remember that magic. And so you might want to look back in times of business where there was something really magical, or you created maybe lots of money or something, and write that down. Because that is your reality. Again, you might not choose it all the time, but the more that you acknowledge it now, the more ease it will be to choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it again and again and again, so that it becomes 100% all the time in the business. And if it isn't, you'll know right away to ask a question to find out what's going on. Because sometimes I think, oh, I should get a program out there. I should do a call. I should do something. It's like, and there's nothing there. And so then I can remind myself, if there's something that's asking to be birthed, it's there. I don't need to go searching. I don't need to fight. I don't need to figure out why I'm closed off. It's just not there right now. So go do something else, go out in the swimming pool, go do something else. And then the creation can show up. So it's just a totally different way with business. And what is your reality with business? Yeah, and some of the things you might not even be aware of yet. But as you ask more and as you play more and as you choose more towards your reality, rather than this realities or other people's realities, you'll get clearer and clearer and clearer with it. Yeah, how's it get any better? So again, I invite you, come and play Communing with Your Business Masterclass. It's this Saturday, so again, depends when you're listening to this. I believe it's August 15th at 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So on the sales page, there'll be a link to your local time. It's $97 US or 127 Canadian dollars. It's very inexpensive. We're going to go through my workbook on communing. We're going to clear points of views. We're going to do all the things so that when you are playing with your business, not working with your business, but playing with your business, you can actually do it with total ease and joy and glory. And again, if you're listening to this later, you can always purchase the downloads on the same link. So again, message me, or depending on if you're watching this on video, there's probably a link below. If you're listening to this, again, email me at info@glenycehughes.com, or if you get my weekly emails, it'll be in there too. So awesome, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so incredibly grateful for all of you, and I look forward to playing again soon.